Right guys and girls and rebels, welcome back to the channel. How many of you remember my very first video when I ended up down the hospital? And I showed you this. Showed you that. And I was told to go to my doctors and I need to see a spinal specialist. And I went to my doctors and my doctor said, oh, there's nothing wrong with your spine. I'm thinking to myself, why did the hospital doctor or consultant write this? And there's nothing wrong. So my GP said there was nothing wrong. I said it was spinal, muscle and all that bollocks. Which I clearly knew it wasn't, because the situation I was in at the time is not caused by spinal muscle. So that was in that video. I went back down to the hospital today. The pain in my spine was getting absolutely ridiculous. Trying to stand, painful. Sitting as I am now, it's painful. Because if you've got your spine straight, the vertebrae are squashing each other. You've got the vertebrae, and then you've got the disc in between these vertebrae, and it's squidging. And it's causing the disc to bulge, to push out and hit the nerve. I don't know if you can see on here, you've got the vertebrae and you've got the disc in the middle, and then you've got the spinal cord nerve running down the back, and you can see the disc between the vertebrae being squashed and being pushed out, and it's hitting that nerve that runs the full length of your spine. So that's what's going on. But if you lean forward, it opens up. So, say that's your vertebrae. If you lean forward, right, that's the top vertebrae, that's the bottom vertebrae, and you've got your disc in the middle. So for argument's sake, we say this piece of paper is the disc, and you've got your vertebrae on top. If I can get this to work. Right, so light as one vertebrae, package another vertebrae, and this piece of paper, which you're about to find out what it is in a minute, is the disc. So you're squashing your vertebrae, which is causing that disc to bulge out. I can see it popping out. But if you bend over, it opens up the vertebrae. It opens up so that disc pushes back in. So it's no longer pushed on the spinal nerve, which is coming down here. But if it's sitting up or standing, it squashes the disc, which pushes out. So when it's pushing out like this, it's pushing against that nerve, which also causes electric shocks down my legs, which is why I go over. But my GP said there's nothing wrong. Even though I showed him this piece of paper, which the hospital wrote on the back of an X-ray request card. So you can only get that in the hospital. The doctor took no notice of it, and I told her what the doctor at the hospital said, that I need to be referred to a spinal specialist, and she said, I'm not taking any notice of that. She totally ignored that, the doctor, which is why I ended up back down the hospital today. And spoke to a different consultant. I thought that was that video. Or was it that side? Whatever side. Right, I showed the consultant this from the last visit. And I explained to him everything that's going on. He said, yeah, that sounds about right. So the node bit is no good. But the rest of it, with the bulge and the space between each vertebrae and all the rest of it narrowing, he said, sounds about right. So I turned around and told him that my GP's totally ignoring that. Totally and utterly ignoring it. GP does not want to know. He said there's absolutely nothing wrong with my spine whatsoever. So that's what the GP said. Totally the opposite to what the consultants at the hospital say. Right, so this was the first one from the hospital, yeah? So basically, this one, all this, so not that, he says is about right with what's going on in my spine. Right? That was up in that first video. So he agreed with that. And he said he'd write a letter to give to my GP. Which he did. Let's find it. Yes, suffering from spinal stenosis. And that's what I was just telling you about. So you look spinal stenosis up on the old Google, you'll find out. So I'd be grateful. You could be forward up in this regard and basically refer to a specialist. They're suffering from spinal stenosis. So, why did my doctor originally ignore that? Which you see me in this video, the first video here. And I've had to go back to hospital and get a doctor to write a letter saying that I'm suffering from spinal stenosis. You know, my surgery is obviously no good. The doctor that I see is no good. So I left them, I got them a photocopy of this letter. So they got a copy of this. And I turned around and said, unfortunately, I've seen another consultant at the hospital. They said, from the first appointment at A&E, this diagnosis is correct. Because it's in here. I'm suffering from spinal stenosis. So they ignored the first one, saying about the bulges is basically spinal stenosis. For me to go back to the hospital for the second time for a doctor to write a letter saying that I'm suffering from spinal stenosis. So there you go, guys. And the surgery that said I had nothing wrong with my spine was Southend Medical. Even though I showed them what the doctor wrote and told me to ask the doctor to refer me to a spinal specialist, which I asked the doctor to do, and they didn't. So there's nothing wrong with my spine, when this clearly says there is. So there you go, guys, more adventures. Also, on another note, how many are out there with motorbikes are thinking about getting a battery powered pressure washer like this one off of eBay? I'm going to tell you right now, that's the one I ordered off of eBay. You see the price. It came with 2 batteries, this battery and the battery that's on it. It's no powerful than a hose. It's a complete and utter waste of money. It's useless. Absolutely useless. The garden hose puts out more power than this. It's absolute crap. And not only that, it ain't going to last long, because this bit's metal, and when you screw a metal bolt onto plastic, it don't last long. It will eat up that plastic. So if you're going to do it, if you do get one, put this on, and don't ever take it off. Alright? If you keep undoing that metal on top of plastic, it's going to be done. You can put a garden hose on there. Now you put your garden hose on there, water's already coming out of it before you even pull the trigger. It's a nameless brand. It's 24 volt. Max lithium battery. So it's Chinese. But I've had other battery powered pressure washers and they're absolute crap. If you're going to get one, get electric. So don't waste your money on a battery powered one. There's literally no weight in it. Cheap plastic. Absolute crap. Right, I'll take this off. Right. Should be able to feel something there. It's nothing. Absolute nothing. Nothing. I can't feel no suction there and I can't feel no blow there. So don't even bother with battery powered pressure washer. Crap. Well, that better do it for this video. So you now know that my GP, Southend Medical, when I showed the doctor that, because she can't do nothing with that. Even though I told her what the doctor said to refer me to a spinal specialist because of this. Doctor said no, can't do that. Took me going back to the hospital again to get this letter saying they're more likely suffering from spinal stenosis and to refer me to the spinal specialist. So if I ignore this one, the same way they did this one, it's lawsuit time for medical negligence. I will tell you what doctor done that. There's a Southend Medical where this happened. They ignored what I was telling her, and I showed her what the consultant wrote at Southend Hospital, and she said she can't do anything with that. Right, she should have turned to right. She should have asked for the symptoms, like the hospital did, and then referred me to the spinal specialist. I told her what's going on my spine. I said I could feel pressure. She goes, that's not pressure, that is your spinal muscles. She didn't even do an inspection. She didn't do a medical inspection. She just sat behind the desk and said it's not, nothing to do with my spine, it's muscle. She's wrong. As this letter, second letter from the hospital, contests. That medical professional at Southend Medical was wrong. We've now got two consultants at Southend Hospital saying the same thing. It's wrong. She was wrong. So I'll leave it there. I'm going to go have me a cup of coffee and edit this video. So, be safe, guys. You know the weather forecast for most of the country, especially Scotland and Wales, from 90 to 92 mile an hour winds. And down here in Essex, it's supposed to be anything from 40 to 70 mile an hour. And they're supposed to start hitting Friday night. So if you get anything loose in the garden, strap it down. If you've got a motorcycle, try and stick it in a shed somewhere that's solid, like I have with my bike, Bumblebee. It's been locked away in a concrete shed. So, catch you later.